Hello, 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 everyone. It is Thursday. It is Consciousness Conversation with Dr. Thomas and I. Hello, hello, hello. How are you today?
I am well. A little tired, but I am well.
Right. So it is Friday Eve, everyone. So it is Thursday. It is 3:30, and these topics, guys, really are kind of given to us, or we feel. And I know that we've talked about karma in the past, but I know that in this energy of this final full moon that we're in for this year of 2022, that one of the big themes of this is karma and how it is. Full moons are all about releasing and letting go of, and that's what this full moon has really felt like. Like we are releasing karma or karmic patterns, karmic lessons. And what does that mean? And I really felt like we needed to have this conversation today for those of you who are still struggling with this concept, or how it would apply in your life. So, we are here to chat today. Hello, Darlene. Hello, those of you on Facebook. Please like and subscribe. I would absolutely appreciate that. And if you check in the description box, you'll see that Dr. Thomas now has his own channel that he's really starting to get comfortable on. So let's support him by going and liking and subscribing his new channel and following him. As we move forward in 2023, we're both going to be growing and evolving, and hopefully you will be going with us. So this is a time of growth. This is a time of expansion. And one of the ways in which we're doing that is going on new paths, going down new roads, and that is about leaving the past behind. And so these karmic patterns and karma, it's not the old idea that if you do me dirty, something's going to bite you in the butt. Like that's the old stereotype of karma and the old definition, I think, that we were used to. But it's not like that. It's not something to be afraid of. I think that in this 3D energy, wherever fear could be given, it was given to keep people kind of playing small.
So, did you listen to Cry On last night?
I did not.
Okay. I figured as much because we're going to go this path right now. So, what you said is a perfect segue to what I was going to get into. And this is something I'm going to say. Cryon said it last night. Lee said it, and Cryon said it. I mean, they both said it in different times, I believe. Do you really think this God of love, who was created out of love, created us out of love, and it's all about love, came here to punish and create systems to punish us?
Exactly.
We have been taught for so long to fear God.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever God you believe in. It doesn't matter. It's whatever God you believe in. We have been taught to fear God. And where does that come from? What does that do? Let's think about this. Now you can say the Bible. All this. Yes, messages have been sent down. The Bibles were written. What we need to understand in the whole context of not yet. What we need to understand in this whole concept of everything we're talking about is the messages are always given at the time that is needed for them to be given.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we evolve and change, we evolve and change. I said this last week. The Constitution was written in 1776 by our forefathers, these farmers, these men who wrote a Constitution for the sole purpose of creating a nation and, get ready, knowing that they did not have the answers and that we would have to adjust and change it as we go through on. And yet we're stuck in the, oh my goodness, we can't change anything because that's what our forefathers wanted. Our forefathers built a system for us to change. So let's go back into what we were talking about here in the fear. We have been grown for thousands of years. Thousands. Not 2,000s, but thousands of years to fear this almighty God. To fear this almighty creature. Fear this. You'll be punished. You'll go to this hell if you don't do what we say you do.
And where did that come from? And that's where you have to look at that. That didn't come from God. That came from the men and the religions, right, that wanted to impact, control how we believed or what we believed in. And so I think that that's what's I'm loving about this time where we are. It's because we're now given more information that allows us to be in direct connection with source, your divinity, and you can cut the middleman out, per se, where that's going to allow you to let go of the fear that has been, um, for some of us, running our lives. For
Well,
some of us,
take
the
it back a
only
little bit. Take it back a little bit. You see that right there, religions and how it was created. What happened in the middle? Let's call it the middle. What happened in the middle of religion? Very simple. 90% of people, majority of people believe, if they believe in religion, believe in this. What happened in the middle? You have an Old Testament and you have what? A New Testament. So I'm going to call it the middle for the middle sake of the idea of organized religion. The middle of it is zero. What happened then? That's when Jesus came. For those that are Christian, that's when Jesus came. That's when the Old Testament, New Testament. A lot of there's, especially in the U.S., that's the dominant religion, Christianity.
Yeah.
Zero came. Jesus came. The message there changed. It changed from this punishment idea to all this bad, to this hell idea, to love.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's think about it in the human context. If we change something, we need to go through drastic change, then change goes slow. And so if we're in the state of religion ruling, and that's what it was. When you think about the persecution of Christ, it was all about the religious and power. That's what it was about. We can't deny that. It was about people wanting power, so they joined up because he had the power, and they ultimately it was who's going to have power and control. I mean, the whole Constantine was about power.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. That's what it was going for. The religion was the power over people. Because you could influence, you could read, you were those type of people. And so they had to take the message of love, but they had to combine it with what they knew and practiced and what had worked for thousands of years prior, which was the wrath of God. Now Melissa left, so it's now me. Now you're stuck with me. It was the wrath of God. And so this message was lost. It's now coming back because we couldn't always fully understand it back then at the time of Christ, where it was put out there and put in the Bibles, and certain versions were lost in the Gospels and things like that. But that's the start of it.
No, and that's, and now that
in this
those
timeline.
gospels are, now that those gospels are being pulled back, like, we're really learning like why they were pulled out, why, and how they were keeping the control by keeping, the divine feminine pulled away. The patriarchy really came in very strong, and the fear of, if you don't do this, then you're going to get that. And somehow we aligned that with this idea of karma. And so now people are thinking in a negative.
Well, yes, they're thinking that negative way, but that's because of how yes, they're thinking about the negative way because we have now in this state have brought taking it back. What is karma? So we talk about here and how the religion came up, got us to this point with this fear base, because that's a big thing with it. The fear base to get us down to where we are and everything we're doing. The control, the power. Jesus comes is about love. Now, that only changes the religious perspective and how things kind of reverse. Karma was still there. Karma was still active. But we as humanity, we as humans, we focus on the negative. Now, karma is not there's no such thing as negative karma. Let me repeat this. There is no such thing as negative karma. Karma is an energy that was created to push humans in one way or another in their lives. It was needed mainly in an older energy, in a way to move the Earth's energy and its vibration to a higher state
Mm-hmm.
or a lower state. That's their choice back then. And so when you start with that, karma was from the beginning an energy that we have been given to help push us along on our path to what you want in your path. It pushes us along. Religion comes along and we focus on the negative. So what is it that you were saying? Exactly what you're saying. We focus on the negative. Religion is full of power, fear. That's there. So what are we seeing? When we think of karma, we're now thinking something that's always been around us is pushing humanity in one direction or not. We're seeing the fear of all that come up. So we are going to then associate karma with this negative thing. So anytime you hear the word karma, you're thinking, oh my goodness, that's what it comes to now. I mean, you think, oh, the karma's going to come back, get them. That's not how it works.
No.
Especially now, it ain't how it works.
No, and that's what this full moon that I'm really loving, that this last full moon is really kind of pushing us and transforming us all, each in our own unique way, onto kind of the new road, the new energy. And so I thought that this was important for us to talk about so people can understand that when you make a choice or a decision, good or bad, it's about the outcome. And that's really what the karmic energy is all about. It's about just helping you make a choice.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to finish this definition here.
Okay.
So once again, it's needed. It was needed, and I'm going to say the key words here. Karma is an energy that was created to push humans in one way or another in their lives. It was needed mainly in older energy to move the earth energy and move our own vibrations up or down, however we choose. It is about situations with other humans, unfinished business, interactions, stuff like that. So that's one more reason we want to see the negative, because sometimes interactions with other humans, we have free choice, so it can be seen as negative. But it pushes you to do things, and it's about the group around you, the place you're in, the emotional energy that develop from this. So once again, you can see it as negative because people have free choice. We are taught and pushed to think about the negative things, so that's what the dominant things come about. It does not punish you. It does not create the bad things. It puts you in the situations for you to take the chances and make the choices that you want in your life, and for others from the interactions that are coming along that you're looking with this unfinished business. It helps you be in the right place at the right time.
So yes, Cynthia, karma can be used to balance depending on the choices you make. It's all about free will.
It is. And I caution the word balance. Many of us, when we think of balance as, I'll use this piece of paper. This paper is balanced, basically, horizontal, flat. That's not balance in the relation of karma, the relation of vibration, in relation of your life. That is not what you should be thinking about when you say balance. Because balance, often we think of this as that way you need to have. People say this all the time. We all come in with a shadow side. We have free will. There's a shadow side to every single human, every single one. That every person that's walked on this earth has had a shadow side to them. However, it's not the balance. That karma doesn't necessarily, it's old, let me say that. That karma didn't necessarily balance things. What the karma did is it pushed you to what you were looking for. We come in with an agenda. We come in with a very specific agenda that we want to obtain here. And as we go through, we make new contracts, make new lives. As we're going through, karma pushes you towards that which you truly and deeply want. It doesn't create a balance of things that are going on in the world. It just pushes you to where you want to be. But what I say with the balance is we can control that balance. We can control it. And we control it with, we decide how much light and good we want in relationship to the negative, the low, the dark. So true balance really should be, and can be, and will be it when we get to this state, 98%, 99% light, and 2% that shadow side. That is balance. Most of us are fluctuating around the 50-50 because we feel there needs to be 50-50 balance, but that's not how it works. It works in how you control that. And the karma of the past, which is no longer needed, no longer necessary, no longer valid in this new energy, the karma of the past literally just pushed you where you wanted to go in your life. And sometimes you got to those situations and you weren't ready. You chose differently. Or you planned out something that was an experience you wanted that you might not really realize you wanted. It could be seen as a bad thing, but it's what you wanted more than anything, for something for you to experience, what you came into this agenda, planned life to do. And so karma was this wonderful thing that helped us and guided us and brought us to a new way of thinking, living, and vibration. It got us to a point where we were able to flip the switch, turn it on, to that we were ready to go to the next level. A level where karma no longer pushes us. We are now in a state that's been predicted by many ancient civilizations, a state of co-creation. Co-creation means we build and create the flow that we want in front of us. We have the level of responsibility now. No longer is that karma pushing us where we want to go. We decide where we want to go. So it's not that we're placed in the situation we came in with agenda for. We create that situation.
So now we need to set intentions to be a co-creator.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. So where in the past karma made us feel like maybe we weren't in control, or maybe we didn't have a choice because certain things had to happen to move us, now we get to set the intention and direct our path. So I love how, oh gosh, it's like nothing's happening to us anymore. If something's happening, we really have to step back and look at what is the energy we're putting in to our, what Abraham calls your vortex, right? What is the energy that you are putting in? Because
Now,
that's what you are going to ultimately create.
and now I want to put a time out and say yes and no to what you just said.
Okay.
So the timeout first. We're gonna go and I'm gonna do it my new way. For many of you, karma is still valid. And it is okay. Those that were born before the shift in the 80s, the late 80s, you still came into this world with karma. So you still have that karma attached to you, which is still part of your life, which is still there, giving you those nudges and guidance. However, what Melissa was saying also is very valid and true. We are in this paradox of a new energy. So it's a balance for a lot of people that are watching this that are over 30 that are watching this. You are in both. So what does that mean for you? What Melissa was just saying, this is the time you can create your own intentions, and you can do that more, and you can do it better, and you can control the energy that's coming out from you to flow you where you want to go. At the same time, if you have not released the karma that you came in with, that will still be there, pushing you in a direction that you plan to come into. With free choice, but you're now balancing the two. So the question to ask that would come next is, well, how do I move from one to the other? I love this because this is what we channeled about the other night. It is so simple. Like many of the things around us, like many of the things that you have in your life, all you have to do is ask us. Ask your guides to be released from your karma. Ask to have that removed from you. You may have to ask for 30 days plus straight. If you are ready, you could ask today and have it removed instantaneously. You have to be ready. It can't just be a flip of the switch, because this is an energetic shift that happens inside of you, where you are letting go of what you are being pushed towards and creating to where you're going to go. These are two completely different paths that are right now crisscrossing, but they are different. And they're different because of the engine that's pushing them forward. The karmic energy, that energy of pushing you towards these completions, these relationships, these things you have in this agenda, versus the energy you're creating for what you want, starting at this moment in your current life. That is the very different paths, and you may not see it that way, but they are very different. And karma is beautiful and wonderful, and we are so grateful for it. For so long it's been here to bring us to this point. But now you have the chance and opportunity, and it is not easy. It is not. And I will say the same thing because it doesn't sound right, but it's true. Even those that are under 30, if you believe in the karma, and you believe in it so much that you call it to you, guess what? It is with you now. And you have to release it too. Because we can call it back. Because we can do all of that. Because we have the power in that co-creation, in those intentions, to create the path in front of us. And if we want to say we want to go backwards and go back to the karma, then we do that. That's you. You can do that. That's your choice. You can say that for some strange reason. It's your life. We let you have your fun. Because you're here for that. But karma is beautiful and wonderful, and it is not the vengefulness. It is not, well, you hurt me, so karma's going to get you in the ass. No. Karma does not work that way. The flow of the energy will. But we needed to think that way to save us from this anguish and this worry of like, oh my goodness, what has happened to me? Instead of thinking, oh my goodness, what happened to me? This is a great learning tool and it's a wonderful thing and I was put where I needed to go. We can never think of it that way because then we look like, oh my goodness, what are we thinking? We were taught so wrong and improper when it comes to this stuff. I can go on forever and ever. I'm going to stop now because I can. See that? I can stop now. Okay. Does that make sense to people? It's deeper.
Yeah, because basically what I'm getting here is we have two paths and you can choose whatever path you want to be on. And it's almost like if you don't like one path, you can go to the other path. But it's got to do with your frequency. Like you've got to be in the frequency of co-creation.
You can't jump back and forth. They're not going to let you jump back and forth. However, most of us are in this in-between state. Based upon how we are and where we are on our own journey of development, we are on the, I'll say us. We are definitely not that karma. I know I'll speak for myself. The karma path, I've jumped off it. It is not in my sight and I won't go back to it. For many of us, we're weaving between the two. Mm-hmm. and the paths are together, but there's going to be some. I've got a friend, and she was ready to go to the path and let it go, when in front of her she was pushed to something she's been waiting for, and they were brought together. It was karma, because there was an unfinished business for the two of them. She was not off the karmic path yet, and she was close, and she has the choice because she was ready to go forward in a whole new path.
Mm-hmm.
And then that happened, and she is choosing to see that path with that person, that karmic history they have together, because it was still, that person is fully in their karma.
Yeah.
So that wasn't there. That's why the paths aligned when they did, because that was the tipping point for her to make that decision. And she can get off the path in time. You can go and let the karmic go. But it's not you're on two different paths. You are on so many different paths, but you have the karma and you have the new energy. And for many of us there, it's a wide, better way of saying it's a wide path.
Mm-hmm.
And where you stray in this path, to the left side or the right side, whatever you want to call, karma and new energy, is where you're at. But you have the choice to fully get off the path and leave the karma one. You can, with the way the new energy is, you can flow the path where you want to go and leave the karmic one. What you cannot do, because it's not possible anymore, is stay in the karmic path without the new energy on it. You don't have to go to, I'm going to call it on the right side. You don't have to go to the right side of the lane or the path. But now, because of where we're at, that path will always be there. That energy will always be there. It can be very thin, very faint. But because of where we're at, and because of the co-creative state that we are in, we will always have that available to us because of who we are and where we're at. So I want to make sure just saying more clearly, it's one bit wider path. You can get off it and go onto the new energy and leave the karma behind. But you can't get off it and leave the new energy behind, because the new energy is with you. It can always flow with you at this point. But the amount of it is up to you, because you have that choice. Because it is always been a beautiful thing. See, I talk too much. Continue.
No, not at all. Not at all. I like that analogy. I really do. And I think that really kind of does clarify it for those that were maybe, and myself even, not understanding completely where karma fits in this new energy. And I think that with that analogy, people will be able to see that even though maybe they're feeling their karma or feeling karmic patterns or karmic lessons, that they can move forward into the co-creation, that they don't have to stay where they are. And I think that's really important to understand and to embrace, that you have free will choice to move forward.
And fully want to say, when you see it as a negative karma, it is only the perception of the lens you're looking through it at.
I love that.
You can take
Yep.
a step backwards and so hard to do, truly be objective, you will not see it as a negative karma that's come on your way. You will see it as the karmic direction that you wanted, that is putting you right where you need to be for what's coming next. If you're still in that old energy of karma, which is fine. It is okay to be in that old energy. I'm never going to say you can't be, but it is your choice, honey. Darlings, people, it is your choice of what you want to believe and where you want to go and what makes you happy and helps you sleep at night, because it is your life. But the fear has been with us for so long because that's how it was established. And it turned into, well, it must be karma, must be the energy, because God is karma.
Right.
And I will state this again from the very beginning. One, and people do not like this, but I don't care, because it's the truth. God is made of love, created the universe in love.
Yep.
God does not punish
Nope.
or create systems that do. That was created, those systems of punishment was created from humans. They wanted to, you ready? They wanted to have this great father figure. And what do fathers do in the olden days? They take out their belt. You've been misbehaving. You're being punished. That was a patriarchal society that we are close to leaving. That's what a
Moving
father
through.
figure had to be, and that's what they portrayed this God as. But with that, there was no negative, vengeful God, and associating karma with it, there's no negative or vengeful karma. It is always the energy moving us to where we wanted to go to, in a way to increase our vibration in the way we want it to be, to help us with situations with other humans, with unfinished business, interactions, things we had that we come into with our plan. I call it a plan because we talked about this before. It's not a purpose. That is, we don't come in with a purpose. We come in with an agenda written on invisible ink of multiple contracts. As we go through our life, we erase, we rip up, we write new ones, especially when you're into this new energy. But that's not our purpose. Our purpose is so simpler and different. And again, I talk over you, and I talk over everyone. See, that's why my partners leave me at their shows. They're like, I'm done with them because you know what? I didn't get a word in edgewise. That's okay.
Oh, I'm okay with stepping on your toes to get my word in. Don't worry about that. All right, guys, that is our half an hour. And so thank you for joining us for another consciousness conversation. As always, it's been enlightening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And check out the description box where you can find out more on Dr. Thomas's videos and more on my content. All right, guys, have a beautiful rest of your day. We'll talk soon.